Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making these little stars. I made some in blues and some in yellows. So for the materials, you're going to need size or weight 1 superfine yarn. I'm using Yarn Bee. I got this at Hobby Lobby in the variegated colors so that your stars can get darker if you make more as you go along. I'm also using the same brand with this color variation. So in today's tutorial, I'll be using the yellow to make the star so you can see it better. You're also going to need a 2mm crochet hook. That's a size B crochet hook. You're going to need some fiberfill. It doesn't take a lot, just a little bit. And you're going to need a yarn needle and your scissors. So just a little announcement before we get started. I am going to be rebranding my shop. I will be changing my shop name from CIP Inspirations to Storybook Crochet. So if you are trying to find me in the future, you know that that's where you'll find me, at Storybook Crochet. If you'll follow me on all of my social media, you'll see this announcement coming soon. So I will have the links to all that in the description. So for this pattern, I also have it as a written pattern for free on Ravelry, and I'll have the link for that as well in the description if you prefer to print out or just read the pattern off of your phone or whatever you're using. You can go to Ravelry and get this for free over there, and I'll put the link down below. And so gather your materials and we will get started. Okay, to get started, you might also want to grab a stitch marker to keep track of your rounds. So we're going to start with a magic ring, and if you don't know how to do one of those, I've put a link up here in the video to show you how to do that. So make your magic ring, and in this magic ring we're going to make 5 single crochet. So you'll just crochet right around the 2 threads there. Alright, so there's our 5, so we'll close that hole. Okay, so again, round 1 is 5 single crochet. So for round 2, we're going to increase in each stitch around. So we'll have 10 single crochets by the end of round 2. So you'll just put 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So in this first one, there's 1 and 2. In the next one, 1 and 2. So keep going around until you have 10 single crochets. Okay. So at the end of round 2, we can go ahead and start using our stitch marker, just to help us keep track so we don't forget how many stitches we've made. Alright, so for round 3, we're going to start in the first stitch with 1 single crochet. So just make your 1, and then in the next stitch we'll make our increase. So we'll put 2 single crochet. And then we'll just keep repeating that pattern. So 1 single crochet in the next one, increase in the second one. So just keep repeating that pattern. At the end of round 3, you will have 15 single crochets. Okay, so for round 4, we're going to do the same kind of pattern, but we're going to do 2 single crochets and then increase. So we'll put 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in the second stitch, and then increase in that third stitch. So 1, 1, increase. and just keep that going around, and at the end of round 4 you will have 20 single crochets made. Alright, and this is what it should be looking at like so far. So we have 2 more rounds to finish off the middle part of our star. So this round part, and then we'll move on and do the points. Okay, so for round 5, we're going to do 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and then increase in the 4th. 1, 2, 3, and then increase. So at the end of this round, round 5, you will have 25 single crochets made. Okay, so for our last round, it's going to be a little bit different. We are going to start out with 4 single crochets, but then we're going to increase a little bit different. So go ahead and make your first 4 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then in the increase, we're actually going to put 3 single crochets, all in the same stitch. So 1, 2, 3, all in that same stitch. And this is going to help to make our sides more noticeable so that we can attach the yarn and start making each of our points. So you're going to do this 5 times around. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then put 3 single crochet in the next one. At the end of round 6, you will have 35 single crochets made. Okay, so when you make that last 3 increase, we're going to finish this off. So you're going to slip stitch in that very next stitch. Go ahead and cut your yarn, and then we're going to go ahead and weave these in to get them out of the way so we can work easily for our points. So just that back one, just cut that off. And then grab your yarn needle and we'll weave in that last tail there. And I always weave it through the back so it's not so noticeable. Okay, I'm just gonna do that one once because it's not, this is gonna be all encased in the middle since we're gonna be making 2 stars and then putting them together. Okay, so we have the middle finished and completed. So now we're going to start on each of the points. So we're going to be attaching the yarn for each point separately. So we'll work all 5 separately. So what we're going to do is find one of your corners. So your 3 single crochets that you put all in one stitch, you're going to find the middle stitch. It doesn't matter which one you start on, just pick one and then go ahead and insert your hook, and then we're going to attach our yarn. Alright, so grab your yarn and pull it through and then chain 1. Alright, so we're attached at a corner. Now we're going to single crochet across 7. So you're going to single crochet in the same stitch that you just attached your yarn. So that's your first single crochet. And then in the next 6. So you'll have 7 across. Okay, and I'm going to leave the instructions for each point up on the screen for the whole time around, so you guys can read that as you're working on each point. Okay, so after we make our 7, go ahead and chain 1, and then we're going to turn our piece over. All right, so for row 2, because we're working in rows now, we're going to insert our hook in the first stitch, pull the yarn up, and then insert it in the next stitch and pull a yarn up. So we're decreasing over the first 2. Grab your yarn and pull through all 3 loops. So we just made those first 2 stitches into 1. Okay, so after we decrease, we're just going to single crochet over the next 3. And then we will decrease again over the last 2. Alright, so that was row 2. So we started with 7 stitches and now we're down to 5 for row 2. So chain 1 and turn. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to decrease over the first 2. And then we're going to single crochet in the middle stitch and then decrease over the last 2. So a decrease, a single crochet, and a decrease for row 3, and that will give us 3 stitches completed. Okay, so chain 1. For row 4, we're just going to single crochet in each one across, so 3 single crochets. Okay, chain 1 and turn. So this is our last row, row 5. We're going to decrease across all 3 stitches. So insert your hook, pull your yarn through, insert your hook into the next one, pull your yarn through, and then insert your hook into the last one, pull your yarn through. So you have 4 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 4. And that gives us our point. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cut our yarn there. Alright, and then if you crocheted over your first tail there, you can go ahead and snip that off. If not, you're going to want to weave that in. Alright, so again, I'm going to leave up the instructions as I do this, but I'll kind of speed through this part in the video. But the written instructions will be up there for you to read as you're making each of your points. Alright, once you have finished all your points, it'll look like this. Go ahead and weave in all your ends, and then we will do our edging. So I will meet you back once your ends are weaved in, and we'll get started on that part. Alright, so we're going to start making our edging for our star. So grab your yarn and we're going to pull it through one of the points. So just insert your hook into the point of whichever part you want, okay, and chain 1. Once you do that, we're going to go ahead and make 2 single crochets in that same spot. Oop, maybe. Okay, so we're going to increase in each point, and then we're going to single crochet 5 single crochets down each side. So just make sure you're crocheting them evenly down each side. Okay, so we've made our increase in the point, and then 5 down the side. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch into the space right between the 2 bases of our points. So right in between the 2 points, we'll make a slip stitch. Then we're going to crochet 5 single crochets up the next side of the next point. Okay, so we have 5 made up that side, and then again into the point we're going to do an increase, so put 2 single crochets into the point. Okay, and then 5 single crochet back down the next side. Alright, once you have those 5 made, don't forget to make your slip stitch in between the 2 points. So just to go over that, we have a slip stitch in between each point. We have 5 single crochets up, 2 single crochet or an increase in the point, and then 5 single crochets down. So continue that all the way around, and then weave in your ends when you're done. After you finish that, you're going to want to make another star. So go back to the beginning of the tutorial and make the second star, and then when you get finished with that, come back to this point, and then we will connect them, and I'll show you how to put your star together. Alright, I'll see you then. Okay, so you should have both of your stars made, so we're going to connect them and make our little star dolls, I guess you could call them. Alright, so you're going to want to put them together with the wrong sides facing each other. So you want the good side facing out on both of them. So make sure you match them up good, and then I always start in a point. It doesn't really matter where you start on this, but so you're going to insert your hook through both sides, okay, and then grab your yarn, pull it through, and then chain 1. Alright, so we're just going to single crochet in each stitch around. So just match them up, make sure your stitches are matched up. Now, when you get to the slip stitch part, you'll just skip over that and just single crochet around in the single crochets from our edging round. Okay, so here I'm just going to go straight to that next single crochet. Okay, and that's all that you do, just single crochet around. When we get close to the end, we're going to stop and fill it with some fiberfill. So let's get to that point, and then I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so when you get to this point where you just have a little opening here, we're going to go ahead and put our fiberfill in there. So you want to stuff it pretty firmly, making sure that you get it all into those points pretty good. Alright, and we'll go around a little bit more and then we'll stuff some more in there so that we can fill up these 2 points as well. Okay, we'll add just a little bit more. All right, and then you will finish your single crocheting, and then we'll finish it off. Alright, so when you get the last one done, just slip stitch to that first single crochet. Okay, pull that out and then we'll leave those ends in and then you're finished. You can make these into ornaments, keychains. You could even just use the one, like if you just use one side of it, you can make it into an applique and add it to all kinds of stuff. So if I would appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button and maybe even the bell icon so that you can get notified when I have new video tutorials up. I want to thank you guys for all joining me in making these little stars today, and let me know in the comments below how you liked the pattern. And I will see you next time. Bye.